Hey Buzzers, welcome to the AFTERBUZZ TV Arrow After Show. It's almost over. We are in the second to the last episode. That is 22. Go hands. Missing sign language. Do it. Let's watch the show.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Once a year we celebrate with stupid hats and plastic plates.
Birthday. There's lots of birthdays going. It's not just Oliver's birthday. It's Katie's birthday too. Yay! Welcome to our after show. What's going on? As you can tell, we have birthdays all in the house. I'm your host, Alikona Bradford, with tons of fabulous people and a birthday girl who's swaying right now. So yeah, be sure to join us before we say hello to her. Always the invitation is extended just to you, so be sure to join the hashtag 8BTV Arrow. Join the chat now and co-host with us. Let's throw it to the birthday girl first, though.
Well, hello. Hi, all my buddies. I am Katie Cullen. You can find me all over the social medias at Kiaxet. That is Kiaxet. It is absolutely my birthday today. I am 29.
Get it?
And my birthday's going a hell of a lot better than Oliver's is.
Right?
Not a high bar, but nonetheless.
But he did get that sweet cake
That's true.
Yeah, you did.
with that cute little cartoon green
Yes.
arrow.
Wait, say hello. Say hello.
Hi, I'm Tauri J. Miller. You can find me at Tauri J. That's Tauri.
Why? Because we love you.
Hell yeah.
L-U-S-C. Hey.
I am Lex Michael. I am all over social media at the Lex Michael.
I'm trying to do you the favor back.
Okay.
Signing, go. All over the app.
What is this? What is this signing for?
Because you always do the episode 22.
If we were like across a chasm from each other trying to orchestrate a complex plan, I would not know what to do.
That's probably true.
Then you should probably have orchestrated the complex plan before splitting the party. Have you never played D&D?
We did not discuss the hand signals ahead of time. That's
Shoot.
definitely
Yeah.
a management issue.
That's why you need sending stones.
Don't you know you never split the party?
Yeah, well, Oliver didn't catch that song. So, birthday. It is Oliver's birthday, and let's talk a little bit about that and the whole surprise party, because I really thought something bad was going to happen. That scary music alluded to the fact that something really bad was about to happen. Only bad stuff happened to Curtis. That's about it.
That was hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Man,
that's
you
right.
don't
yes.
ever sneak attack a surprise on Oliver. Like, that was just not a good thought.
And I can't imagine that the idea of a birthday party is something that would ever enter into his mind.
Yeah.
Under the best of circumstances, I can't imagine he'd think, yes, my birthday.
Well, and he thought he was going to go get dinner with Felicity. And it's like, all right, I'm going to go get dinner. So you're in a certain mindset, and you're paranoid about everything because you're Oliver freaking Queen.
And it's been a long several weeks.
And the door is open, and it's kind of quiet, and things might be off. It's like, yeah, no, he's pretty keyed up.
Yeah.
So jumping out from behind him and going, surprise! Like, the surprise here is that you are still alive.
I mean, he kills people, like, real well. A lot of them.
He does.
You don't surprise that person.
Actually, now that I
It's a
think
bad
about
plan.
it, and that you say that out loud, Katie, that's actually really messed up to allow, because Oliver's the whole day probably freaking out, like, okay, I'm gonna go.
Is that how you
have
prepare
dinner.
for dates?
That's exactly how you prepare.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go have dinner.
Oh, I didn't mean
with-
you in general. I meant you.
Yeah, sure, why not?
You gotta do all
That's
those
what
spot
she
checks.
does.
It's super important.
You know, she's got to make
Blow
sure
the
she ain't
mic.
funky.
No, it smells fresh. Okay, so anyhow, that's how you do it.
Yep.
Bless you.
But I'm just saying, you think about it, he's probably a little nervous. This is like he said, going on a date with his ex-fiance. And all these emotions that we saw 2 episodes ago, and to go into a room thinking all that, and it's a party, like, yay. But at the same time, oh, okay.
But
Yeah.
a sweet cake, though.
Yeah.
Hey, I did love I got it made for a 6-year-old. Like,
Right.
Which I was
bless
wondering-
you.
I was wondering too, because she was talking about, I didn't know if they'd make me a green arrow cake for a grown person. Like, who is this judgmental baker that you're
Right.
talking to?
I know, right?
Like, just let the man have his day.
Well,
I
and
wanted
my
to meet
knee-jerk
that
reaction
character.
was they made that cake when they found out they got renewed for another season, and then they just wrote
it's
it
got
in
the
the
6
episode.
on it.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
good.
That was where I went.
Production could only afford one cake. We're going back to the island. This is a very expensive back half of the season. We got one cake in our budget.
Yeah.
We got a party for season 6. We're gonna save. Nobody touch that cake. We're putting it in these shots.
I feel like production was more like, you know what? Why the hell not? Let's do
Right.
it. Let's have the joke. We'll write a line in explaining it, but let's do it.
Yeah.
Right.
They can have their cake and eat it too.
And buy socks.
Good night, everybody.
See
Yeah.
you later.
Wait a minute. Was that? I'm thinking about it again. I need to go back, but there is an artist on Twitter whose name escapes me who does kind of that chibi art, and I wonder if that wasn't something that they made for the season 6 announcement.
I don't know the artist's name off the top of my head either, but I
you
had
know
that
who I'm
same
talking
I had
about.
that same thought that looks very reminiscent of an art style that I've seen pop up on social media pretty frequently.
Yeah, because they do something after every DC TV episode. So 4 times a week, give or take, and there's something new for every episode that airs. And so I would not be surprised if they drew that and then the company purchased the rights and put it in the show, because production knows that this person exists. And it's killing me that I can't remember their Twitter handle because they do really good art. So if anyone knows it,
Say
Lord
hi.
Mesa, that makes perfect sense.
There we go.
I'm an idiot.
Do you want to give some shout outs, say hellos? Because I can't see the board, and I do believe we don't have access to it on our TV. Is that what's going on?
Well,
Nah,
we've got
Katie's
the
got it.
usual
It's 'cause
people,
Chase
and
set
I'm
off that
still,
EMP.
It
Oh,
is,
okay.
and I'm
why I
still.
can't
We're
walk.
pulling up the hashtag. We have our hashtag ABTV Arrow. We have our live chat. This is what happens when you make me go first. I don't do the spiel. I do the spiel when I go last.
I'm sorry. I did tell everybody to join the hashtag, though. I did.
Yep. So we have Alicia Perez in the hashtag having our gift party because it's wonderful and glorious, and she does that every week. We have the usuals in the chat.
Well, hello,
All
usuals.
102 of
Hi.
them.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, y'all.
102.
We love you.
Get it.
Well,
All right, so let's talk about the episode. I have random notes. Chase is hairy.
Chase
Oh,
is
yes,
he
hairy chest.
Chesticles.
got some
A
nice.
little, a lot.
Look.
He's got a lot going on.
We've
under
all
that.
got hair in places, okay?
Well, I also like that he's been in prison, presumably for. I mean, how long has it been
He's
since
well
the end?
48 hours.
His hair is
Ish.
done. Like he looks good for an inmate in a maximum security facility.
yeah,
Well,
I mean,
admittedly, he didn't really get roughed up too badly before taking him in. You'd think he'd have a little bit of hood hair, but aside from that,
Or at
it's
least
just
like that from his cot, like sleeping. Maybe
No,
Chase doesn't
doesn't
sleep. Maybe he just
no,
does
he's a
not
vampire,
sleep.
please.
He waits.
He stands there like this.
He doesn't sleep. He waits.
So, like if he sleeps, he's like, I know at some point soon, Oliver's gonna come back to rough me up a little bit. My hair's gotta look sweet as hell. I'm sleeping against the wall tonight. And he just posts
Yeah,
up
but then
like,
he-
And
like this.
occasionally looks into the camera so we can have a really good segue.
Mort.
Like transition, rather. That's what I'm looking for.
Well, either way, he's taking out the team one by one by one by one by one. Except here's the weird thing, okay? So they let us think in the last episode that Renee sucks and he got scared and he opted out of going to see his daughter with this trial, right?
Wait, you didn't immediately think that something had happened to him?
No.
Because my immediate thought was, oh, something happened to this man.
My immediate thought was, oh, he got cold feet and he sucks.
yeah, we didn't really explore the idea that Chase and or his people had probably done something to him. But I think now, since we haven't seen or heard
now,
anything
yeah.
else from him, it's safe to assume that he's
Something happened.
See, and I watched it about 4 hours
but-
ago, and my immediate assumption was that something capital H happened to him.
But
Right. They
right,
want-
we haven't. When everybody is on the island,
Yeah,
we
that's
didn't
what
see
I was-
him. But we also didn't see Dinah.
Dinah.
Dinah,
Yeah.
and Dinah's apartment was broken into,
Trashed.
messed up, like,
But, well, yeah. no,
yeah, so
same.
there's a
Yeah.
chance that they're in hiding together.
or that
Just
they're
making
already
out the
down
whole
in the
time.
cells in the prison.
Right.
But no, that's where he went to go get Manu Bennett. I don't know.
There might be a lot of. It could be big prison down there, and he's like, I know where Slade is. I'm only gonna go to this part of the prison. But
Or they're chained somewhere else,
Yeah.
or I don't know.
Okay, so speaking of prisons, real bad week to be head of security at Argus.
Yeah.
In general, because last night on The Flash, we had The Flash and Captain Cold breaking in and making King Shark take a little nappy poo. And tonight we
nappy poo, is that what it is?
Well, not the scientific term. I watched Shark Week. They told
But
me.
is King Shark a shark?
And
Shark,
then he defecated.
Sharky poo.
Nappy poo.
Nappy poo. Yeah, this like you do. When you got like slightly less cold blood than other sharks, you take nap. Anyway, then tonight we have the springing of Black Siren, followed by, of course, this big prison break sequence wherein Adrian Chase escapes. Not a good week for Argus security.
Yeah.
But did anybody else think when this whole attack happened? I know we're just hopping around the episode, but first of all, cool that Malcolm Merlin is back. I was waiting for him to tap dance just a little bit first before they got into the whole ninja fight. Amazing fight scene through the gates. But the point is, they're shooting all these people that have him in custody. And I'm okay, so you're knocking out the people that have the guns that can control whether or not he gets free to get to him, but then they're all dead, and hey, guess what? Free helicopter, go!
Yeah.
But no one's dead.
And their intention was to
But
free
they're
him.
out. They're out enough to where they can't
Yeah.
hold him down.
Which was the point.
Right.
Yeah, we have to
Why?
get him. We have to get him out of here because if we don't let him go now, he's got William, and he's going to kill William, and he's got our friends. It's like so. It's unfortunate. It's like you have to let him go now so that you can hopefully
Get him
save
later.
everybody and get him later. What I got stuck on earlier, though, because you brought up Malcolm, I really enjoy the because we see the POV from Malcolm when he's hiding up in the rafters. I love the mental image of Barrowman crouched up there just waiting for somebody to show up. Like, how long do you think Malcolm was up there?
Silently playing the Jaws theme in his head, rehearsing what he's gonna say. He wants this to be perfect.
Like Malcolm has his resources. He might know when Oliver's on the move and on his way back to the lair, but maybe he didn't, and he's just been there all afternoon.
I'd like to think that he's watching Netflix until he hears the elevator, and then he quickly closes the window and then jumps to the rafters. Yeah.
It's like, well, excuse you, I wanted to watch the new MST3K. I don't have a lot of time.
I mean, it's true. You gotta get on that.
I also like. I don't know why, because it's not the first time that he's had this haircut. But I liked Malcolm's haircut.
Yeah, I saw that.
He's done well because it was more of a coif thing in seasons past, and now it's like working its way down to more of a crew cut looking thing.
I like the
Yeah.
thing.
I don't know. I miss the bangs, them side bangs that just went right here.
Like
What?
wait, like the
When did he have those?
Way back when.
When we first started.
like the sad future Barry hair.
No, it wasn't that long. It was just a little bit this way. Just
Okay.
a little bit this way.
Okay.
Just the front. It was like a little curl.
Little curly thing.
Yeah,
All right.
a little curl.
All right.
I actually like the fact that Malcolm
This is
was.
why they're tuning in is for the hair talk.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Arrow hair talk.
Harrow.
Hair. Yeah.
Good night, everybody. Nothing's gonna top that. Let's go home.
Hashtag Harrow.
Wow. Okay, so I was gonna say I actually liked it. It was a slight role reversal because Malcolm was sitting in the wise seat, if you will. I don't know how else to say it, but because Oliver's, you stop giggling over there. Because Oliver was he's so inside himself right now that he can't seem to get out of whatever Chase's master plan is. Every time he tries, he's just so wrong. So you have someone like Malcolm show up and go, well, I think like a psychopath. Well, he said sociopath, but close enough. So his next move is probably going to be blah, blah, blah. So it was nice that he was actually the I don't know
Well,
what
and
I'm gonna say.
everyone
Voice of
involved
reason.
Yeah, thank
overthinks
you.
this sort
Yeah.
of thing. Well, I knew this. Well, I knew that you knew this. Well, I knew that you knew that. I knew that you knew that. I knew that you. And you could go forever.
Right.
And it's just Barrowman on the outside going, "Oh God, why?"
Takes a special kind of idiot to get dumber over time.
Yes, that's what he said.
We brought
sorry.
Thea in specifically to bring Merlin in, and I regret nothing for any of it.
I'm okay with all of it. Much like now, we've gotten a little more Barrowman on this season of Arrow than we got Callista Flockhart on this season of Supergirl. But having them return, those two respective characters on their respective shows, it gives the show a little bit of a kick that I didn't even realize I was missing from it until that character returns. Malcolm brings something to this show that when he's not around, the show still works. But,
Overwhelming charisma.
yeah, but oh
His
man.
emotions were out of hand.
I love that you just did the.
Yeah, I mean,
But yes,
Bless.
every time that he's around, I feel like the entire hour just gets kicked up an extra notch.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yes.
Yes. I mean, because we got used to the lower energy, solemn, like family environment, and he definitely like brings in not even in terms of the dynamic, he brings in a little bit of like evil, which is nice because everyone has been playing real well with each other.
Yes.
And so he has a way of kind of letting us do a little bit of stuff that we wouldn't usually do.
And of course, little do the rest of these characters know, Malcolm has arguably had a crazier year than any of them.
Yeah.
He's been traveling through time with Damien Dark and Reverse Flash, rewriting reality. Dude's been busy.
Yeah, but he always has time to save his daughter.
I was just gonna say, even though he's, well, we're not gonna say any bad words. He's a piece of work.
He's a not very nice man.
He's always
He's a
there for his
dick.
daughter. Oh, okay, you can say that.
Yeah.
It's your birthday. Go
Because
ahead.
you can say that regardless of what day it is.
Birthday words.
Yeah, it's your birthday privilege.
Yeah.
Yes, it's Katie's birthday. In quotations, he's a dick. The weirdest birthday card you could give or receive. I think the one thing that's bothering
Oops, my
me.
bad.
Oh, hello. The one thing that's bothering me about this
Is it a video of William?
how the hell did Chase find Oliver's son? This is what's getting me. Because I ran into this a lot with Star Wars Rebels when we introduced Admiral Thrawn, and he was shown to be one of the smartest guys around.
Right.
But about halfway through the series, it stopped being seeming omniscience and started being, here's this, here's that, here's how he put the plot threads together. He is explaining it to another character, and so the audience gets the explanation, and it's less he's omniscient and more he's playing Xanatos speed chess.
Right.
Adrian is also playing Xanatos speed chess, but randomly being able to find Oliver's kid is just one of those moments of, okay, I know you needed this piece on the board, but how?
Well,
Because you're like, it's impossible. Felicity can't do it. It's very difficult. And then this guy just pulls it out of his ass. Like, that's the bit that breaks
an
immersion
upsetting
for
visual.
me.
Yeah. I just feel like as much as these episodes are so well written, a lot of the things that the fact that Chase has the ability to be one step ahead after a while just seems impractical because it's not like Oliver is stupid and neither is the rest of his team. Do you know what I mean? I don't mean
I
that
want to
offensively. I'm just saying at some point I feel like Oliver being Oliver and he lives off of instinct and he's been through so much that you would think he'd be able to figure out what the next step is on top of the fact that he has people like Felicity and Curtis on his team. How the crap does this one dude outsmart this entire team repeatedly
And get into Star Labs.
and meet all these people that can come help him?
Yeah, I want to see the process. I want to see the process from his point of view. I want to see how and why he managed a lot of this because we're at the point where it's a lot of fun and, the finished product is pretty great, but looking underneath it and going, okay, but how's the scaffolding? How are the supports? And seeing nothing there and going, no, how did we get here then?
Right.
Like, I want to know if he's that good, the show should be able to explain how.
Well,
and it's not, and it's bothering me.
he does have the full resources of Talia al Ghul's league, even if it is, I don't know what.
Tiny
I don't
League.
think it wouldn't be the League of Assassins proper, but I'm sure that
But, like-
Talia al Ghul is very much linked into multiple underworld groups that are probably fairly expansive.
Right.
True. I just want to see that be like, oh yes, well it was this. Oh yes, well it was that. Like, do the stupid villain monologue thing and explain how we got here.
And we still could. I assume we have to tie up
Everything.
at least that loose end, right? I don't think Oliver's going to end the season without going and getting his son back. So I assume we've got to touch
a
on
lot
that
in.
in some way. But I also feel like there's enough that the show has given me that, like, I agree. I definitely have a couple of questions about how. I mean, like the Argus stuff is one that apparently security is really lax at Argus.
Yeah.
So all right, I'll let that one go. Whistle past it completely. There are a couple of things where I'm like, yeah, how do you do that? But we've seen enough of his plays laid out for us step by step, even only in hindsight, that I'm going like, if they don't explain it, I'll take this leap.
But at the
Chad
same
is
time,
saying Talia. Chad is saying everything is Talia. Which means next episode, I just want something of him taking all the credit and her going, excuse you?
well, I'm glad you said her name because I also, and maybe I missed this because I sometimes have poor memory and I apologize, but Talia and Nyssa, right? Nyssa shows up and she's like, oh, okay, so we're fighting my sister. Contemplate. Cool, what's the next move? So at what point in your relationship did you get to that point that you're willing to fight her? Did I miss something in the show?
Are we assuming that they've never fought before?
It's fight and fight till death. Two different things.
I imagine if you've got Ra's al Ghul as a dad, I imagine he's probably pitting his two daughters against each other on a fairly regular basis.
Oh, yeah,
I imagine that
absolutely
must
on
have
the
been
regular.
a very, very abusive, I was going to say house, but like monastery, mountain lair
Family.
to grow up in. No, I assume that this is something that's been baked into their relationship probably from a very young age. Whether or not they had a specific falling out in this universe, I imagine that their relationship was always a bit antagonistic.
Yeah, like it feels like from the moment that we meet Talia that she's been somewhat extricated from the League of Assassins, which you assume that like at some point, even though Roz wasn't so keen on Nyssa, he ultimately chose her over Talia.
I would imagine that Nyssa's older.
Yeah.
And if it's just a right of succession sort of thing, and even then, Nyssa wasn't allowed to actually inherit the League. She had to marry a dude that could. So
Right.
just like, okay.
Yeah.
And then when you're the younger child and you can't own land or inherit the family business, you go join the military or the priesthood. And she went off to do her own little thing. So
Now, was she the two-sworded lady that caused the car to go flying into the air with the greatest of ease?
who else?
We can assume.
Okay.
Her, or
I
like
don't know. It could have been another league of...
it was either her or like definitely one of her buddies.
Yeah. But what I want to know is, and I know you were making the comment about, wow, those are magical swords.
I was
They
like,
made the car.
that's a good steal.
But what I want to know is where in Diggle's on driving, right? Yeah. Where in his mind was he like, oh, lady with swords, we're just going to like, that's a good idea. Let's crash the car. What?
Well, I think the plan was to hit her.
Yeah.
But like in her slicing the car, it would have gone through the engine and the tire, which means you can't really steer as well.
Well, you can't really steer when it's upside down either, so...
Those are some incredible swords, though. Like, we had a little chat about this. Katanas are not extremely strong swords to use in combat. You can talk about the 1,000 folds, but
Right.
that's because way back when katanas were a thing, Japanese steel was terrible. There's a
Right.
reason that we have a ton of long swords that survived and maybe 20 katana from the time.
It's Hattori Hanzo steel, obviously.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, that they were better quality than the other ones. You had a slightly better plastic fork than the rest of the plastic forks, but it's still a plastic fork. So we have the plastic fork of swords cutting through a car.
Maybe it's
Just
not
like,
that they were
why?
great swords. Maybe it was a really poorly made automobile.
That's true.
Okay, but a plastic fork of swords still cannot cut through another plastic fork of a car.
I don't know.
Like, it doesn't work that way.
Kenichi, history's #1 disciple, has taught me that you can use anything to cut through anything.
With
As long as
intention.
you have, yes, the intention and the swordsman's spirit.
So Spirit
God
cut the
bless
car.
you watch too much anime.
No such thing.
All right.
Yes, there is.
I do want to talk about the special kind of psycho that Chase is really
Yes.
quickly, because the fact that he sat there when Oliver said, you know, my boy, why'd you get him involved? He was innocent. Well, so was my wife, and you got her involved. Oh, bitch, but you decided to, like, knife her, and that was okay? And now you're going to blame Oliver? Excuse you?
I mean, yeah, they did get her involved.
Okay, but not
she
like
was
that.
also
Right.
like, can you maybe not? Can we calm down? And then he made the choice to be like, the plan, my wife. The plan, my wife. The plan.
And I also
She was an innocent, you got her involved, but you knifed her.
But
Right,
I
you didn't.
also buy in Chase's head. I mean, it's 50-50. Maybe he is just saying this to taunt Oliver because he straight up doesn't care. But I also buy that, no, in his mind, he very cold, emotionless, logical. He's like, well, look, this was all going very well. I wasn't going to kill her, and then you did the thing that you did, and because of that, I had to kill her. That's a real shame, and I wish you hadn't have made me do that.
Yeah.
Darn you,
It's
Green
Oliver's
Arrow.
fault. Though it would be dope if the payoff to that would be Chase trying to make Oliver kill William. Be dope. He's so dark. Dark and dope.
Wait,
Child
really quick.
death, son. Killing them kids, son.
I think William's not
okay.
even on the island.
No, I don't think
Probably
so.
not.
Either.
Why would you? Yeah, why would you take them where he is? I feel like that's like your
You're ace in
fail
the
safe.
hole.
Yeah, you're ace in the hole. Exactly.
Yeah.
Don't give up, because what we were talking about earlier on this show, I believe, once you kill him, you can't play that card anymore. But if you keep him stashed away, you've always got it. You could lose, and for all Oliver knows,
For Oliver knows.
it's fine, and we can just go get William from wherever he is. But you could have a backup plan if you're Adrian Chase, crazy hat, perfect hair guy.
Crazy McCrazy hat. I
Who,
love
by
it.
the way, didn't have any marks from getting punched, and we saw blood fly out of his face.
He is just that crazy.
Yeah.
His lip was bloody, so I think it was a teeth hitting the inside of the lip thing, but that was a hell of a blood spatter for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
He probably
forensic,
bit his toe.
that was like upside down Joker painting blood spatter.
I don't know.
Big.
All I want to say, okay, just speaking of, because we were talking about how he's a special kind of psycho, when he drops all the friends off with on the island, and he's like, relax, enjoy the weather. In my notes, I'm like, asshole.
I will say the weather was actually really nice.
It
Like,
was,
you don't
but-
get to see those characters in the sun very often.
No.
It was
Good
kind
point.
of great.
There was a
Chained
moment
up.
though where they're
Well,
all.
I mean, they film in Canada, so.
Right. There was a moment though where they're all sitting and you don't see much of the islandscape. It's just shots of the team on the ground. And I understand, like, to get them all in frame together in a line, you want to shoot somewhat downwards, right? But we're only seeing a little bit of hill and a little bit of the path that they're on. And for about half a second, I forgot that they shot in Vancouver, and I was like, are they in Griffith Park?
Right?
This looks like
Are
Griffith
they in
Park.
the valley? I think they're in the valley.
They're not there, somewhere in Canada. But this is
Regional humor.
If you weren't marooned there, I feel like Leah and you could be pretty nice for like a day.
A day.
If you don't
mean-
go too far into like where all the log traps are, yeah.
It's
Totally.
literally called purgatory. There are literal dead bodies everywhere, and also a prison.
Well, you don't want to
and
be
it's
stuck
just-
there. You probably
Yeah.
don't want to spend the night.
I mean, most of the bodies were caused by Oliver. So I mean, he's just it'll be like a down memory lane. I made that one. I made that one. That was.
Is it a bad
I
island or
am
is he a bad
fully-
tourist?
I am
That's true.
fully
Yeah.
expecting all of the traps that we've seen and that had been made in the past, etc., to come up during this fight. Because Chase may know about it, but I severely doubt that he knows the lay of the land. And Oliver has been here more recently than Chase has, because
Right.
they came back 2 seasons ago to talk to Slade.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Like something like that. I don't remember.
Yeah,
It's all blur.
and I feel like, and when was it that Oliver went back to the island to like regather his thoughts and his feelings? I feel like that was post Slade.
Yes, I
That
think
was
so,
a
too.
season premiere at some point.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, he's definitely he knows a lot more about this island than Adrian does, because there's a big difference between here's the topography on a map, I know everything, and I lived here on and off for 5 years, you don't know anything.
Right.
I've got a death stroke in my basement.
Right.
Boo.
Right.
Is that a death stroke in your pocket, or are you happy to see me?
Wow.
6 of one, half a dozen of the other.
That's a big helmet.
It is.
I was gonna say something. and I
I'm kind of
forgot.
sad that we only just got him for the season finale, but
I
I'm happy
know.
that he's here, and I'm expecting him to go full chaotic neutral and just attempt to murder everyone.
That's a
Yeah.
possibility. Oh, I know what I wanted to talk about, the flashback, actually, because one of you guys had mentioned pain, and then we have Kovar putting Oliver through all this pain with his drug. And it was interesting because we flash back to so many different instances that's happened throughout the season. And then when Yao Fei pulled up, if you will, I was like, who's this guy? It's been so long.
Since season 1, it took me a second too. I was like, wait, you're that guy, yeah, hey.
I have to bring this up. Casket Fan 1 in chat says #Chase is gonna step on a mine.
That would be awesome.
I would be down for that being how Chase goes out.
Like the
arrogant,
most-
monologuing, I know everything, walking backwards away from him, steps on the wrong part of the island and goes sky high.
That'd be pretty great.
And then
I
the
want
tiger
it.
jumps on him.
I don't think there are
What?
tigers only on you.
Oh, I think you said Tigger. I was all, what?
What? No. Sorry, I was making a reference to the movie Double Team, in which a tiger jumps on a man standing on a line. Standing on a mine. Don't worry about it, guys. It was a really obscure reference. Watch
Double
more.
Team?
Double Team. It was a Jean-Claude Van Damme, Dennis Rodman movie.
Okay.
Whoa.
Yes. Okay. Yes. I forgot about that movie's existence completely. For half a second, I was like, "Do you mean Double Take?" Is that
This
what's
is
with Eddie Griffin and Orlando
Obscure
Jones?
Movie Corner.
Yeah.
I
was like,
Watch
wow.
more movies, guys.
I was like, did a tiger eat Orlando Jones in that movie?
No.
No?
What's chat saying, Katie?
Chat
like,
is
I've
talking
seen
about
that
other
movie.
things.
Oh.
We're on like a 3-minute delay because the stream went down for a little bit in there. So
Oh,
it's
gotcha.
going to be a chunk of time.
Gotcha. Okay, well then let's go back to all the pain that Oliver is feeling. Oh my
I'd rather
God.
make
I
more
feel like this
references
is
to
some
Double Take.
beautiful, dramatic, made-for-TV drug. Like, there's no way in hell anything even close to this exists in real life, but we need to wrap things up, and it's season 5, and let's go through all the other flashbacks, and let's just have a drug that makes you feel bad.
Was there
Wow.
a line that maybe I missed where we explain how Kovar's fine now?
Something,
just says him
technology.
alive.
Right, like we don't really like we saw when he was on the slab and like he opened his eyes at the end of that one episode. Merlin was there and he was up to some mischief and he was doing some experimenting. So like, all right, you could fill in the blanks. But I was wondering, okay, so did we explain it and I missed it, or are we just no? He's fine. He just got like a little nick on his face. He's good.
I mean, we saw him. Yeah, he was like on a table of some sort, right? Wasn't he like a surgeon's table? So I don't know. He's like Franken Kovar. So
Frank Kovar.
But there we go.
Nice.
But I just
Hey.
wanted to read what he said. This drug will show you all your failures, guilt, bloodlust, your inhumanity. Thank you. Take the gun, and don't waste it on me.
This is such a perfect little CW TV plot drama drug. I'm just really amused by this because screw science, we're on an island, I guess.
I'm more stuck on why did you give this dude like Kovar must have been so confident in this plan because I guess he's done it before, right? He's like the strongest man I've ever met. It took him 12 minutes and they blew their brains out. But if you respect him enough to think he may last those other 2 minutes, you don't respect him enough to think he may shoot the lock off the door? At some point.
Right?
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, but
But it's 14 minutes of intense emotional
That's fair. It's kind of like
agony.
it's like how good a shot could he possibly be under that type of duress? I guess would be a fair
But
argument.
at the same time, how can he also be so sure, unless he researched Oliver Queen, which at that point in his life you couldn't do a lot of researching, to know that all those scars represented some painful situation? That could have been one deep fall.
Oh no,
you know,
he
like, how do you
binged the
know
show.
That, oh,
Yeah.
He
that's
was
what
binging.
happened.
He
he was
binged the
doing,
first 4
yeah.
seasons. They're all on Netflix.
Oh.
Mystic Lightning calls it the CW drug, which I appreciate
Right.
and enjoy.
Right.
well, Oliver was also at a massive disadvantage. Even if he escaped the cell itself, like he's still in a bunker surrounded by armed dudes. So
You
like,
really think the season finale isn't going to include flashbacks that show him killing his way out?
I'm sure. But like I'm saying from Kovar's perspective.
Wouldn't it be all right? So what if in the finale, right? He tries to get out and like the drug actually did its job, and Kovar straight kills the dude, and then like Earth 49 Oliver steps out of a wormhole somewhere, and that's actually the Oliver we've been following in the present timeline for 5 years. Would it piss people off? Absolutely, almost everybody. But I would have to tip my hat to that level of
No,
audacity.
I mean,
would
yeah, no.
love that.
My comment during the episode was plot twist, past Oliver kills himself. Now what? Like, what would you... That's part of the problem with flashbacks like this, is that you know he's gonna survive. We're at the point, we've seen the bonfire, we've seen him get off the island that way, like, you know he's getting out of it. There's not a lot of drama as to whether or not he's actually going to shoot himself. Like,
Right.
But
we
it's still
know
cool
it's
to
not
see.
going to happen. Which is why I think that plot twist would have been hilarious.
That would have, again, it's like, you know, at best, that'd be wildly divisive, but I'd just be like, that,
Yeah. It would also
Wow.
explain the beard.
it would, right? Like, why
Like,
does he have
I
this
got
perfect
beard now?
Yeah.
Well, no, that was what was in the backpack.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Well, yes, it's
Sticky
disguised.
Yeah.
But I'm
But
still-
that's also why it, like, oh, that's why the island hair looks terrible. That's the point. It's actually a wig. I appreciate you, show. A lot.
Well, you mentioned the other Earths, and then I also was going to say that I actually really liked seeing Katie Cassidy as both Laurel, good innocent Laurel, even though we got it for 2 seconds, and then we actually got to see Siren Laurel, and as soon as she showed up with Lance, and they said that Lance didn't know, I was like, oh God, I was...
It did not occur to me. I cannot believe we made it this far into the series without Quentin ever encountering Black Siren.
He was
Yeah.
in rehab.
Right,
During
right.
all of that.
Yeah.
So I love that they brought that back. Like, oh, that's really smart. That's absolutely going to get him because he doesn't know he was Sir not appearing in the series at that point in time.
Right.
But
Because contracts.
I was quite proud of him, though, because old Lance would have still told everybody to shut up, and even though they were explaining the Earth situation, Earth 2, this, that, and he was actually opening to... wow. He was open to listening. It's bleh. He was open to listening. Gotta enunciate my words. And that was sexy. You liked it, didn't you? I know.
Well, because Quentin and Thea.
Well, yeah, but I just thought it was, even though not Laurel, was trying to pour it on real thick, he still was like, no. And one of the things she said, because I was like, oh, I don't like you, shiesty. She said something about how I know how seeing me makes you feel. Because he was like, you're not my daughter. No, but I know how it makes you feel. As in, like, I'm just going to keep on working this angle and eventually I will break you down, is how I took it. So
Well, and here's what I'm wondering. Is Quentin alive on Earth 2? Did something happen to him? Did she lose her dad? Because the way she was playing it and the way the dialogue was written and the acting, the emotions on her face, I legitimately think that her Quentin is dead.
I feel like it's less likely you go that bad in that way if you've got a loving, supportive family structure around you.
Yeah, I legitimately think that she lost her Quentin because part of it was I work with him. He guarantees your safety.
Right.
Yeah.
So that there's something in this for her too that isn't just mustache twirling and evil cackling. So I really do think that her Quentin is dead, and this is her kind of being like, okay, he's not really my dad, but he's kind of my dad, and this is good enough for now. Just slap a Band-Aid on that wound.
There was enough in the way that Katie Cassidy was playing it that I started to have thoughts along that line as well. And then, Alikona, to what you were saying, I really did appreciate that. You can tell, like, this is an incredibly hard thing for Quentin to have to move past. But I like that once Thea laid out the logic of it to him, like, all right, I know how crazy this sounds, but like, we know the Flash. So we straight up know the Flash. Like, we know metahumans are real. Aliens invaded like a minute ago. This is not even the craziest thing that's happened this month.
Right.
And I appreciate that he goes, well,
okay.
Good point.
All right, yeah.
Yeah. Because, old Lance would have been like, no, it's my daughter.
Yeah.
Really quickly, Billie Jean Girl says, do you think that somehow Black Siren will switch sides to help Lance?
I think if he winds up in danger, her priority will be him.
Yeah.
Full stop. I think that we've laid enough groundwork for that at this point that would not be a surprise if it happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Laurel.
Well, and I also feel like, too, especially since the plan does seem to be to keep Katie Cassidy around, and also in a universe where more of our villainous characters than not get some type of redemptive arc at some point, I feel like maybe you want to give her something. You don't want her to go down with Chase and the rest of that team.
Especially if she is a CW regular.
Exactly.
Right. And I think that she could bring in the energy that we get from Malcolm being a bad guy working on the good side, without Malcolm having to be there all the time.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I have another comment from Billie Jean Girl. Because she tweets me.
Aren't you special?
So she said, couldn't Oliver called Roy and Rory or even Human target for help instead of Deathstroke? I mean, really?
Evidently, we've had confirmation that Roy is not going to be in this season.
What?
Yeah.
Why
He
on
is
earth did you
smart.
say you were going to be
He's
in
on
multiple episodes? Not you, but I'm just saying, why on earth
Yeah,
did he
you,
say
Katie.
that he was going to be in multiple
Me.
episodes?
Plans change.
Apparently.
Yeah.
I do miss Rory, though. I want him back. I'm not surprised that he's not here. They would have had to build him in a few episodes earlier. Like,
For sure.
But I miss him.
But even if it's the free phone call, you know what I mean? Like, you called, she made a point. You called Deathstroke, but you didn't call Rory? Or did we just not get that scene?
Well, Rory is God knows where and doesn't have his powers. So
Yeah.
what's he going to do?
He's on He's on a quest essentially to
soul
try and
sabbatical.
restore those abilities and that magic. No, where's Roy Harper? Do we know where he's at?
He's
Lying
probably-
low.
Sure, and I do buy that even if Oliver needed to call in the cavalry, he's not gonna pull Roy from wherever he is and risk Roy's life and safety. Because if Roy comes out of hiding to help them, there's every chance A, he gets killed, B, the police find him, throw him in prison, etc., etc., etc. I actually, if everybody else has been taken, I totally buy going to Nyssa.
Right.
And then Slade is just that's convenient. It's like, well, we're here.
Yeah.
Going to the island anyway. So.
And I mean, he respected Thea not wanting to go back in the field. He would respect Roy as well.
Yeah. There's also kind of a darker undertone to him gathering his bucket of deplorables, and that, like,
If you get killed, I'm fine.
yeah,
Look
pretty
at all
much.
these people who have tried to murder me in the past. He's got his own little suicide squad.
I was just gonna say that.
Except better.
Well,
Good job. Good
Not
job.
a high bar. Not a high bar.
So
Arrow set the high bar. The movie performed way under it, and now we're back on Arrow.
that is true. No, really quickly though, we only have 5 minutes and 25 seconds left of our show.
Yes.
So I have news and gossip. I want to make sure we get. Wow, that was. He was like, yeah, pushing the button. She finally
Do
got
it.
there. Thank goodness. So either pictures or video may come up first. I don't know. Pictures first. So I know I've shown stuff about Knocking Point before, which is Stephen Amell's wine company along with his friend. But I was saying that to somebody else who went, he has a wine company? And I thought, well, just for a refresher, I'll go ahead and throw some other stuff. So here are some of the items that you can purchase on Knocking Point. You can also get a ticket to go and see them. They actually show up at these Q&As. You drink, you eat, you listen to food. Here's a collection of assorted items. And when you are a part of the Wine of the Month Club, which it's also Coffee of the Month Club if you're a coffee person, you, I believe, if I'm correct, get like a special little surprise. And then you get the comic book, of course. They always have new episodes coming out. I think that's a pretty awesome gift for anybody who wants to give, or maybe just gift yourself. Who knows? Yeah. Next picture. So Stephen Amell officially joined, and I don't have I left my notes at home. Bad host. But he officially joined a football league in Dublin, Ireland, and I don't remember the league's name because my paper's at home. But there's a picture of him joining. Apparently, he just had the most fun, and within that time he was there, he's like, sign me up. And he paid for himself and a friend to sign up. There's another picture coming next, and it's actually the picture of him, just so the website was like, for real, like, he's an official member. We didn't honorary induct him in, like, he paid, he did what he had to do, and now he's a part of our football league.
cool.
Nice.
Yeah, pretty awesome. That athlete. Which leads me to my next point. American Ninja Warrior coming out on the 25th. And we have a sneak preview if you haven't seen it on the internet because it came out today. Let's have a look-see at it. Because Stephen Amell proving that his training really is real training. Oh no, tech issues.
Bam, just bam for a minute.
Bam,
All right.
bam, bam,
I
bam.
really like when
Actually, we're going to take this moment to talk to you guys real quick about iTunes.
Yes.
Thank you guys so much to everyone who has rated, commented, subscribed. The best way to keep us on the air as an after show is to go onto iTunes, subscribe to our podcast, rate us 5 stars, leave us a review. Unfortunately, we are a little short on time to read reviews tonight, but know that we do see these and we do love you. And if you want to keep us on the air, those reviews and those ratings are how you do it. High ratings help people find us in the search terms, and our producers see those reviews, know that you love us, and therefore keep us around for another season. If you leave a review that is not in the American iTunes store, if it's in a different iTunes store, or if it is in the podcast feature of Google Play, screen cap it, throw it in the hashtag ABTV Arrow. We love those. We want to read those out too. Thank you guys so much for your continued support. You know we adore you.
You just made me really tired
It's
right
a
now.
good vamp. It's a very good vamp.
Yeah,
All
that's
right,
a great
so
man.
it looks like our video, I believe, is ready. Are we cute and ready?
Ikimas.
Mickey Mouse?
Who?
Ikimas. Let's go.
Said for years he wanted to try a Ninja Warrior course, and this Red Nose Day special was the perfect time to do it. He's got millions of followers on social media who've encouraged him to try it, and now here he
There's
is.
his wifey.
Yeah, he is the real deal. He performs a lot of his own stunts. He's excited about this.
You've seen the show, you've seen it with the
Those
show.
girls are like,
This dude
hey!
is jacked.
He's 6'1" and just solid muscle. Watch him. There's the arrow. Boom.
Yeah!
Oh, it gets better, you guys. It gets better.
But
Hold,
now
please.
this is going to be a real challenge in the flywheels.
I don't know if she's his coach.
You got the arrow and the mighty Casey Catanzaro. 2 superheroes right there.
Oh no, I guess she's somebody.
But now the
Well, it is a
flywheels,
Red
and
Nose
this
Day
is a
special,
tough
so.
one.
And aren't we all somebody?
But see how thin that thing is that he's gripping on? You've got some incredible
Got it.
That's some
finger strength.
That's some whole upper body action going on. Oh, look at him swinging. Oh, he's gonna do it. He's gonna swing. He's grabbing the thing.
There we go.
This
Man.
is real deal stuff out of this superhero.
He's
Real
swinging
deal
over
stuff.
some
Out of
cool-
this superhero.
Out of this superhero.
Yeah.
Boys all across
Oh,
America
man.
are losing their minds.
because they kidnapped his son.
Yeah.
This is how he's preparing. This is what it's like on the island.
There's gonna be more. Anyway, so that is that. I'm super excited. I honestly have never really been an American Ninja Warrior fan, but I will watch that just so I can see Stephen Amell and his abs do all sorts of magical things.
Yep, magical abs.
Let's do some predictions, guys.
Your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Go.
I really do want Adrian Chase to step on a mine. Like, I want this in my life now. That would just be wonderful.
I think the red vial or liquid is going to be how they stop Chase, and then he's going to be in a prison cell feeling pain forever.
All right. All I need in this world is Slade Wilson in the suit taking people apart with swords. That's all I need.
True.
That's amazing. One last comment that Billie Jean Girl did send to me. She said, what if that red stuff actually has... She pretty much alluded to Vertigo, like it being an earlier version of that, which would be interesting because I think Vertigo didn't necessarily make you feel pain, but that would be an interesting twist. And I think you just said it. You just said it? Oh my gosh.
Me and Lex are the same person, don't worry about it.
Yeah, whatever. They said it. I believe it. I'm
Yeah.
down for it. They also were
go ahead.
teasing. Okay, I was gonna say, they were also teasing, and are you guys surprised I didn't go on a tangent about Felicity? But one step at a time is what Felicity said to Oliver. So obviously they might just try this again, and I am hoping so much. What do you want to say, Katie?
We had... Well, I think they just redacted the comment, which doesn't help. Mystic Lightning was talking about Katie Catanzaro. Evidently, she was the first person to the first woman to qualify in American Ninja Warrior.
Oh. Okay.
That is a very upper body strength heavy course. Like things that aren't easy. That. Or the first to qualify for finals, rather.
Gotcha.
So yeah.
Oh, well, good to know. Thank you.
Interesting.
Katie, you got your predictions. Okay, I guess that's it. We were
did
getting
the thing.
short on time. We did the thing with the
Chase
thing.
to step on mine.
Yes, thank you guys so much for watching us. I don't even know where to go. I like to always look all of us so we can all bid you adieu, goodbye,
Every camera.
together. So be sure to do that. Again, I'm Alikona Bradford at Boys and Beauty 01 on Twitter, but I am also on Instagram, yours truly, Alikona, with underscores in between. Lots of cool stuff. And there's these guys.
I am Lex Michael. I'm all over social media at the Lex Michael. And if you are a fan of DC on the CW on ABTV, I'm still all over it. You just can't shake me off. We're talking about Supergirl. Me and Tauri She tried. She really did.
Yeah.
Me and Tauri J are talking about Supergirl. The finale is next week. Also, if you haven't seen this week's Flash, I joined Tauri J. Miller and a panel of special guests last night to talk about that. It was a lot of fun. And also, I talk about Fargo on Thursdays. It's wonderful. Join us. We love you. Mwah.
And I'm Tauri J. Miller. You can find me at Tauri J. It's TAURIJAY. Also on the shows that Lex mentioned with the addition of Doctor Who on Sundays.
And I'm these guys. I'm Katie Cullen. You can find me all over the social medias and on YouTube at Kiaxet. That is KIAXET. The Samurai Jack series finale. Y'all, is this Sunday at 8 p.m. Attack on Titan, Mondays at 8. I have a Tuesday show and I'm losing my mind. Robots in Disguise, I should know that, 7 o'clock. And then Red vs. Blue and Steven Universe will both be back on June 1st. We will be covering the 8-episode Steven Bomb because what is my life?
And I'm glad you said season finale because we have one more episode left to the season finale, so you gotta make sure that you're joining us right here. But until then, thank you so much. Good night, Swan Queen 37. Thank you, and we will see you later.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.